Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about today because I'm here to interview one of my longtime friends,
Longtime
Matthew.
friends.
Yes, Matthew Whitaker. I'm sure you have heard of him somehow, some way. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, Matthew, introduce yourself. Tell the people about you.
Okay. My name is Matthew Whitaker. I am 20 years old. I'm also blind. I play piano. I also play drums, keyboards, percussion, and I also play organ as well. And I've known Gabby for a long time. So,
Yeah, for sure. So we went to the same music school as kids, and
yeah.
yeah, here we are. So I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you,
Mhm.
and all right, so we could get started. Okay, the first one I want to ask you is how old were you when you started developing a passion for music?
Mm. Well, I've always loved music since I was little, and I started when I was about 3. My grandfather gave me my first keyboard at 3, and I taught myself nursery rhymes. And by the age of 5, I started teaching I started taking piano lessons at the Lighthouse, or at the FMDG music store
Yeah.
with Dahlia,
Mhm.
and I got into jazz when I was about 7. Um, yeah, and I taught myself organ when I was about 9.
Wow.
Um, and then yeah, I mean everything else just came from that. This started.
Falling into place.
Yeah, falling into place. Yeah.
Yeah, got you. Were there any other like genres of music that you like to listen to, or was jazz like always your thing? Like, was that just your favorite?
Well, I love all styles of music. My favorite genre is jazz, but like I said, I love all styles. So gospel, R&B,
Mhm.
classical, rock, everything.
Got it.
Yeah.
Um, how would you say your music has changed over the years? Because you have what, three
Hmm.
albums out now?
Yeah, I have 3 albums now. Yeah, I have.
It's crazy.
Oh, thanks. um, out of the box, now hear this, and my latest one, Connections. And I feel that you know, it's it's like all of us, like we develop new ideas or we just grow, however we do it, and
Mhm.
with practice and just and it just and it's really all about having fun as well, just
Right.
doing and just I'm just doing your thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, follow up to that then, how do you feel like your creative process has changed over the years when
mm,
making music?
mm. I feel like it's kind of the same, really, because how I normally do it is I just pick whatever instrument I want to play and just improvise. And if I liked an idea, I'll just go with it, and if not, just keep improvising.
Yeah, got you. So talk a little bit about your new album, Connections.
Okay. So this new album is really about the connections I have with other artists and their connections with me, and I was uh, I was so happy that we were able to get a lot of people that I've known over the years, and some new people that I've connected with in the
Mhm.
studio, and um, shout out to everyone who was a part. I really appreciate everyone on there, and yeah, and we've been doing shows, featuring the album as well. So,
Yeah.
hmm
Um, so who are some of your like biggest like role models that you say that you look up to?
mm, good question. There are a lot of there are a lot of people that really inspire me, including uh, let's see, for piano, gotta go with Art Tatum. These are all jazz people, or uh, um, Oscar Peterson, um, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, who else? Jordan Rudess, he is the keyboardist in the band Dream Theater. Who else? Barry Harris. For organ, Dr. Lonnie Smith. He's a jazz organist. Jimmy Smith, Jimmy McGriff, Charles Erland, Rhoda Scott is a lot of people. Corey Henry. Um, he plays both keys and organ and everything else.
Got
um,
it.
who else? Man, there's many more where that came from. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, yes. Can't ever forget those two.
Right.
Who would you want to collaborate with in the future?
Honestly, whoever, like I'm open, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because as a composer and arranger, it's great to, be versatile in whatever style. So like really anybody,
Right.
and we've done some stuff too, and you know,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. For sure. I feel like you have really, like, I feel like growing up, I've seen how you have kind of like, you know, especially when it comes to music, like I told you, like back in the Lighthouse, like a lot of us were just like, yeah, like he's definitely, you know, has a big passion for this. And I could definitely tell, like, it's something that is a really big passion of yours. And that's really, really awesome.
oh, thanks, I really appreciate it.
Of course. So I know that you have a song on the album called Stop Fighting.
mm.
So can you kind of just walk everyone through some of the stories and meanings behind your songs on this album?
Yeah. So we'll start with "Stop Fighting." So I wrote this song, I believe in 2020 when everything was just going crazy with all the
Mm-hmm.
police brutality and just people being just, crazy to each other, overall, really, and even now, like with what's happening with overseas, we'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I wrote this song is, it's just like, we don't need all of that. We don't
Right.
need all of that, all the fighting that's happening, and for no reason whatsoever. So just stop it. That's really what it comes down to. Just stop fighting, and you know, you know, wh- where is the happiness? Where is the peace?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. No, exactly. Um, there is so much in the world, and I feel like there's just so much toxic and negativity and just
Exactly.
hatred and it's just like everybody needs Jesus, okay? Everybody
Huh?
needs some Jesus.
Glory.
Everybody needs some Jesus in their life because truthfully, I don't know what's happening at this point. We got wars going on, we got the pandemic. It's just so
Purr.
much, you know? But I feel like just listening to that song too, like when I first heard it, I could
Mm.
really tell that like it was something that was just like, I'm just assuming here, but I'm guessing like it was something you were thinking so much about. But even just when I
Mhm.
listened to it, I just recalled like hearing about, George Floyd and Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor and all these other people who have lost their lives
And
because
it
of police brutality.
right, and even before that, like just
Mhm.
people, like, not just police, but people being rude in general.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, like with slavery and all that stuff. That's why I put
Yeah.
the stomping in the middle section there, because just to signify that.
Yeah, exactly. Um who is calling me? I'm so
I don't
sorry.
know.
When you go into the studio to like put your music together and record, do you already have an idea of like what you want the music to sound like, or do you just go in and like, improv with everybody?
Yeah, I mean, there have been like moments on the album, well, in the recording process, I can say
Mhm.
that there was, okay, we have a roadmap, we'll go with this roadmap.
Right.
There have been moments where we just improv, honestly, which
Right.
which which was a thing on this album, right? There were a few tracks where it was all improv live in studio, and
Mhm.
that's what we put on the album, because it's always great to have, like, you know moments where you can just be free and do your thing. I'm not saying like we weren't doing our thing when we were doing the songs that had roadmaps, but you know,
Right.
just to just go off of nothing really and just just go for it is
Mhm.
really really fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I listen, you guys. Like I've been on calls with Matthew where he just will sit at the keyboard and just like do whatever, and it's like,
Period.
then we just improv, we just like sing, we just and it's
Yeah.
always so much fun. Like
Yeah.
it's so fun. Um,
Right.
so how do you deal with any adversaries like being blind and being in music and all
Mhm.
those things that as us blind people and people of color are faced with? Like what is that like for you?
Well, first off, I don't let my disability stop me. Period.
Period. Exactly.
um, I mean, for me, it's just really all about just overcoming the odds. Really, like
Mhm.
even even when I was born, like it was
Right.
challenging. Like for those who don't know, I'll just explain what happened. So, I was born 24 weeks premature,
Mhm.
1 pound 11 ounces, and
Wow, that's
at
crazy.
right, and at 3 months old, the oxygen that was keeping me alive damaged my eyes, and
Mhm.
the doctors told my parents that I wouldn't be able to talk, I wouldn't be able to do anything, walk, or just do pretty much anything. And they gave me, like, after all the eye surgeries, after all of that,
Right.
being in the hospital for a long time, they gave me less than 50% chance of survival.
Mhm.
But God, huh?
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Mm. So since the beginning, it's been rough.
I know. I get that. But I feel like the way I look at it, no pun intended, but the way I look at it,
It's all right.
it's like I feel like, and I'm going to just like speak on like from my perspective, but for me it's
Speak.
like I feel like being blind, like it's led me to do so many different things and advocate for the blind community. And like the blindness isn't all that we are. There's so much more to
Right,
us than just our disability, and I feel like so many people overlook those things.
right,
And it's just like, no, I'm a person. I
right.
like to do other things. I'm not just a blind person that is needs to be babied or pitied or any of those
No,
things. So
no. Yeah,
yeah, that's just
exactly.
my
Like,
kind of
like,
perspective on it.
no, yeah. I mean, on top of that, to add to that, all we need is accommodations.
Mhm. Exactly.
Speaking of accommodations, no, yeah, if I can talk about this, if that's all right,
Yeah.
like with 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 different programs that I've been in, it's been difficult, for me. But even now, like I'm in my third year at Juilliard
Mhm.
in the jazz program, first blind student in the jazz program,
Right.
studying jazz piano, and stuff, you know,
Happens.
happens, and it's still
Yeah.
happening to the point where like it's been 3 years since 3 years, and the basics haven't even been addressed. And
Right.
me and the disability staff have been doing our best to get all that organized, and people just ain't caring or not helping. And
Mhm.
it's frustrating. So I mean, I mean, I'm just doing the best I can to just do the classes and get out.
Right.
Just
Right.
at this point,
I
and
get that 100%.
right, right, and I know you have similar things too.
Oh yeah, of course. I definitely had my issues in college, and I felt like
Hmm.
it was just to the point where you feel like you are using your voice so much, and you're advocating and you're doing all these things that you got to
Right,
do, but everybody else is just like, nope, we just not gonna change nothing. It's just all gonna stay the same because we don't know how to
exactly.
help this person.
Well, well, look, if someone asked me to should I go to X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna say no.
Right.
Or not no. I'll be like, just rethink your options here.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you've traveled a lot.
Yeah.
doing tours. What would you say is one of your favorite countries to go to?
Man, that's so tough. All of them are just, all of them are just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go back to Japan though. Um,
Ooh, nice.
yeah, the reason being is just walking around is just especially if you're using a cane or something like that, because like you
Right.
really feel where you're at, and
Mm-hmm.
there's braille all over the place, and overall I'm sorry, but they're way ahead, compared to us.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like even in the even in the the subways down there, like each
Yeah.
station has its own jingle. So if you regularly travel on the subway, all you gotta do is just memorize your jingle.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's one thing. Um, and like I said, but everywhere I go, everyone is just loving music there, which is great
Mm-hmm.
because music can really, you know, be a
Music is a
healer.
universal language, so,
Yeah,
um, for sure. Well, are there any like projects or things you're working on now that you want to share with everybody
yeah,
before we wrap up?
yes, definitely. So on March 7th, um, there was a movie that came out on Hulu, which I composed the music for. This was my first ever film I scored music to, and it's called Starkeisha. Again, it's streaming on Hulu. It came out on March 7th. And I also have a documentary coming out on my birthday, which is April 3rd.
Team
Um,
Aries.
per. And yeah, it's about me, and I don't want to spoil too much, but again, it's going to be out on my birthday. It's going to be, I believe, on PBS, and also streaming in other spots as well, I believe. And I'm really excited. I'm trying to see if we can get both projects to be audio described. So,
Yeah,
well, yeah. So, I'm really excited about that.
that's great. So I'm
Thanks.
gonna link all his information in the description. You guys can
Yeah.
follow him and check out his website and all the amazing things that he's gonna be doing.
Yes.
But
Feel
thank
free
you
to check
so
out.
much.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. Feel
No,
free
go
to
ahead,
check out.
finish up.
Yeah. Feel free to check out the tour page on my website in case you want to come see me live,
Mm-hmm.
wherever I may be.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Matthew. It's great
Of
having this
course.
conversation with you.
Of
Do you mind
course.
just
Thank
kind
you.
of course, do you mind just like wrapping us up with a little
Yeah.
music?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.